through facts like they're nothing, okay? If you love nature and you adore nature in all of its entirety, we're raw, this is live, you know, of every animal fact that one could ever ask for, then do go and show some love and support. It really does help. And not only that, put a, you know, a lovely thumbs up, because it does help. Every little helps does. Let me get the next animal, I believe. Let me read the comments. What's your opinion about extinction animal? Well, sometimes extinction can, you know, be natural occurrence. Sometimes it's humans that, you know, destroy, you know, these beautiful creatures, regardless of what they are. I don't agree with extinction. It is quite worrying, and I'm all for saving the animals in terms of making sure that humans know how to work alongside with nature and not against it, because let's face it, animals have been around longer than humans have been around, especially in the ice age, you know, side of it and everything else. Even dinosaurs were before humans. So, you know, we really need to think about how we as humans impact animals and how we destroy their lives, because there's so many in the pet trade. Like, it is sad to see, you know, so many animals going into the pet trade and being used as pets. There are more big cats in captivity through animal human, you know. Y'all, what's good? There are more tigers living in human homes than in the wild. There are so many things that is just sad as hell to see, you know, get put into, you know, into situations that are bad, you know. Now let me get into my listing quick. I know I got some animals in here that I did have. Apparently not. That's fine. So, another interesting, while we talk about nature, let's talk about ladybirds. Ladybirds are really cool. So, a ladybird might eat more than 5,000 insects in its lifetime. That is insane. 5,000 insects in its lifetime. Bonkers. But as I say about fruit flies, for all of you that didn't hear about fruit flies ironically were the first living creature to be sent into space. True fact. Crazy, right? And it is such a true, but very scary thought, you know? Another interesting fact is that, you know, caterpillars have 12 eyes, which is insane. So, yeah, caterpillars do have 12 eyes. A really gross fact that will gross you guys out entirely is mosquitoes are actually attracted to smelly feet. So if all of you have smelly feet, which I don't think you guys do, but if you did, and you live in areas where you do get mosquitoes and you have smelly feet, I'm sorry, you are going to attract, you know, mosquitoes. Hands down. Crazy, innit? And the red postman butterfly, you know, pretty much develops its own poison by eating toxic plants. Now that is insane. To know that a butterfly can, you know, eat, you know, toxic plants and become toxic itself, that's insane. You know, we love butterflies. Butterflies are beautiful, but you know, we all know that, you know, they can be in its own right quite dangerous now that we think about that they can eat toxic plants, you know. And believe it or not, now this would confuse a lot of you. A lot of you would be confused when I say this animal. What you're looking at here are what we call drills, and they are drill monkeys, not mandrills, but drill monkeys. Yeah. So when we think about, there are lots of different species of of monkeys. But drills are shy, which is quite cute. So, as I say, yeah, drills are shy, living only on one small remote area of Africa, and their faces aren't as colourful as their cousin, the mandrill, who's, because mandrills have that blue and red, type marking, which is beautiful when you think about that, you know. So this is, the cousins to the drills are mandrills, which is absolutely phenomenal. We love them. Now, drills and mandrills are large monkeys weighing as much as 75 pounds, about the weight of a large golden retriever. Powerful, physical, and they have a 2-inch canine. But they are still very shy. Still very shy. So they are very, very much adorable creatures in the world. They are very fascinating creatures. So, when you think about drills, you will think about these guys as, again, these are drills. Mandrills have more of the, blue and red, markings. But drills, they don't have that. So drills have a cousin, which is the mandrill. But, these guys are not lacking in the drama department, which is true. They genuinely do not slack when it comes to, the whole drama, because monkeys, they have drama, they have everything going on for them. It is impressive, It is. It's something that I consider beautiful, that monkeys do have their own set of, drama. Drama. And I love it. I love that, drills have their own set of drama as well as anything. But again, as I say, these guys can pretty much weigh 75 pounds, which is equivalent to a large golden retriever. So the fact that they weigh as much as a golden retriever is so impressive. Like I say though, like and subscribe if you love nature and you want to learn about your favorite animals and stuff like that. It does help me a lot if you guys love nature and you want to subscribe. This is raw, so you are getting live, very much live feed on all nature related at the moment. So you guys are going to enjoy every element of nature. Okay? I love it. And when we talk about butterflies, I know a lot of people love butterflies. What is interesting is that butterflies genuinely do actually taste with their feet. So a lot of people don't actually know that the way butterflies actually go about things is by tasting with their feet. So yeah, butterflies taste with their feet. Very unique little fact that they can taste with their feet, because we normally would see them, sucking the nectar and everything else, but no, they actually genuinely would, taste with their feet. How impressive is that? And I feel sorry for bees because, a hornet's favorite food is actually bees. So we know that bees and, hornets and wasps don't get on with one another, but hornets love eating bees. It is their favorite thing to eat. Crazy. And I find that crazy as well, to be honest, I can't lie. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we'll do this now. We'll do this now. Let me find it. Do I have it still? Oh no. Let's talk about orcas. So orcas, sadly enough, you know, well not sadly enough, but orcas have been spotted in Portugal and other parts of the world, you know, going after boats. Now, no one really understands the reason why orcas are trying to attack boats and what the main reason is, but there is belief that it is for fun, because we know that orcas love to teach their young how to hunt. We know this for a fact because they are apex predators. Absolutely phenomenal. They are absolutely highly intelligent, you know, for what they do. But, ironically enough, as I say, when we look at orcas and we look at how structurally clever they are, they, like I say, they've been attacking boats in, you know, Spain and other parts of the world. And where they're attacking boats is quite interesting. When you look at this this format, you can see that here and here is where orcas love to attack. That is their favourite parts, and that's like where the rubber parts are. So we know that orcas love attacking that. Now, it is actually the more juvenile orcas that have been attacking the boats, been bumping and pushing boats until that boat crashes and burns. Now, obviously, we know that orcas have not actually killed a human in the wild. It is not been on record that orcas, knowing as killer whales, has been attacking humans in any capacity whatsoever. It is not known for them to go out the way to destroy boats just to kill a human. But it is, like I say, it's the juveniles, which are the younger orcas, that have been, you know, taking particular interest in, you know, that department. It is absolutely insane how brutal that is, and how orcas have been, you know, teaching their young how to do this. Okay? Now, there is theories as to, you know, what the reason is for this, you know, attack on boats. It's either to do with boredom, you know, that you know, looking for a bit of stimulation, a bit of like, you know, entertainment. So when they're attacking boats, as I say, when we look at the boats, when we look at where orcas strike, which is here and here, we know that orcas are either doing it because they're bored and they're looking for entertainment, and that is why they're pushing the boats the way they are, to basically get the entertainment and everything else, which is fine, it's calm, but not so fun if you're the person on the boat and then you're having an orca go after you. It's not so fun, and it's not so, like, you know, impressive when you see an orca go and attack a human boat, out of, you know, entertainment because they're bored. But also there is another reason, is to do with play. It could be a way of them to play, especially since they are highly intelligent animals with complex social lives, which is true, because they do have very complex, social structure. It is very much true, you know. So that could be one element as to why orcas have been wanting to, you know, bite and destroy boats. Now, it is advised that if you are in Portugal or anywhere that is, you know, being spotted of killer whales attacking boats, it is better to pretty much avoid that situation by, you know, moving your boat and keep moving your boat so that the orcas don't have a chance to push and ram your boat back and forth and, you know, destroy your boat. So yeah, how interesting is that for orcas? Now, people don't generally hear much about this, but it has been well documented. I promise you that for sure. Let's go into another. Let's talk about, you know, black spiders. Now, whenever it comes, now obviously Halloween is long gone, but a very interesting fact about, you know, spiders is that If you have a black spider in your house, it is considered bad luck. But if you have there we go, a white spider in your house, it is considered, good wealth, good fortune, good everything. That is what the main priority is. So yes, you're probably gonna freak out that there's a spider and oh my god, it's gross and blah 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 blah. Another interesting thing is when you look at crows and ravens, they are said to believe that they can send messages all the way back from the living to the dead. Now that is absolutely creepy as hell. To know that these guys can pretty much pass messages on to the dead. I mean, what would you guys send send a crow to the dead? What message would you send to somebody that passed away that you always wanted to say, never got a chance to say? I would love to know your opinions, by the way, on that. If you could have any message for a crow to send back to the dead, what would it be? I'd honestly love to know. That's a really very dark, but yeah, interesting all in all. Now, do do we want this one? I think we do. Yeah, we do. Oh wait, no, let me get it into a bit better. Sorry, hang on. I like this. Right, meet Fredo. Fredo is one of our lovely boys, and this species of leopard is actually classed as critically endangered. And these guys are found in the cold parts of Russia all the way to the cold parts of China. There's only said to be less than 100 left in the wild, which is absolutely insane. So the numbers have actually plummeted, which is kind of sad. But luckily for him, he has actually, had successful cubs in his time. So he's actually been very successful in breeding. So obviously there's still a chance for his species alone to make a comeback. Whether or not that happens is another actual matter, because obviously in the wild there is only 100 left in the wild. So very, very, very slim. Very, very slim. But again, Fredo being a lovely boy, it's sad to see a species go downhill. So it is. Now then, let's get into more interesting facts, shall we? Let's get into it. Piranhas. People think that piranhas are, vicious. They kill humans. They don't kill humans. It's no. It just doesn't happen. Very, 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 very mixed on that. Very mixed. And I think people have got such a wrong opinion on piranhas. It's unreal. And I can't help but think, wow, So when you think about piranhas, these guys would more eat, things that are living in their own habitat that is natural to their diet, not so much anything that is past that. But a human, no. Yes, they got razor sharp teeth, and yes, they can do a lot of conflicted damage to a human, but I highly doubt that, these guys would genuinely go and cause harm to anybody, because piranhas, they prefer, eating fish and mollusks and stuff like that, but not humans. And it's sad, because it's like with sharks, people betray sharks as bloodthirsty creatures that want to hunt humans and kill humans, but at the end of the day, sharks have really bad eyesight, so they're not really prone to understand. But not only that, they're mistaken us for seals, because seals is their natural, food that they want to eat. But again, it is sad to see that people want to mistaken, such beautiful creatures for, dindins. One sec, guys, while I get more you know what, while we're here, we'll talk about jaguars. Now, jaguars are beautiful. So, when you think about jaguars as a whole, their bite force is about 1,500 per square inch. They do have a very strong bite force compared to any other animal. And their bite is stronger than a human by 10 times strong, by 10 times, which is impressive. These guys, I mean, if you think about jaguars, they are the third largest big cat. And these guys have such, unique hunting ability. Yes. Hey, I am such a Bong fan. Yo, big up to you. Maddie. Is that Maddie? Yeah, I'm going to say Maddie. I can't say your name. I'm so sorry, but I hope you're doing well though, bro. I'm so sorry. Your name's very confusing. But as I say, when you look at jaguars as a whole, they're good at swimming. They are good at, climbing. So if you think you can outwhip a jaguar through climbing or anything like that, you're certainly mistaken, because these guys are just insane. They can literally eat you in no matter of seconds. Jaguars, they go for the skull, not so much for the neck. So when you think about, leopard, tiger, lion, they all go for the throat. But jaguars, straight into the skull. Jaguars' diet does consist of anything from, capybaras to, capybara, snakes, monkeys, caiman, anything they can grab their teeth into, they will happily do it. So for all of you that love capybaras, I'm sorry to say, they get munched on by jags. But not all big cats do have successful hunts. In fact, all big cats would genuinely have one successful hunt and not always have the next mealtime. Because let's face it, jaguars, they typically, like all big cats, they typically have a successful, non-successful. So every big cat eats every other day. That is natural, because you're not going to see a tubby lion to a tubby tiger to a tubby jag. Just not healthy. And, again, it is what it is, It's impressive. And when we think about interesting animal facts, I will give you guys an interesting animal fact as well, guys. I actually want to bring this into attention just a little bit. So think about jellyfish. Even if a jellyfish is on land and it's dead, it can still sting you. It is always going to happen. So next time you think that you can, touch a jellyfish while it's on land and you don't think nothing is going to happen, I'm sorry, my guys, you are going to get stung, because most jellyfish do have stingers and they will sting you. If you're lucky, they might not, and therefore you're fine. But I still wouldn't risk touching a jellyfish just to throw it back into the water, because you will get stung, so yeah. It's always going to happen. Always. Sorry to say that. For people that love, to hold jellyfish, that's what you're looking at, okay? Now, cheetahs, it is such... People have a very interesting debate about this. So when we think about cheetahs, there are some debates where cheetahs are big cats. Some scientists, pretty much prefer cats that roar, like lions, tigers, that sort of stuff. So that's what's classed as a big cat. The only thing a cheetah can do is purr or hiss, like a house cat. So therefore that makes them lesser cats. But most people just think that they are big cats, but in hindsight, no, it is pretty much less of a cat. Because cheetahs, they can't retract their claws. It's not possible. Lions, all that, can retract their claws and easily do some damage. And not only that, jaguars and tigers, lions, they're built for strength. They're built for, power. Obviously, we know that, you know, cheetahs can run very fast, and cheetahs are built for speed. You know, they can reach speeds of, you know, going from 0 to 16 miles an hour in only 3 seconds, you know, which is insane. So we know that that is possible for, you know, a jag. No, for a cheetah, sorry. Not for a jag, for a cheetah. I completely missed what I said. So I was going in about speed, about jags, about debates. But yeah, there is a big debate about whether or not, you know, cheetahs are classed as big cat. I generally do not see them as a big cat because they can't roar. They are not built for strength. They are built for speed. Yes, we know that they are beautiful. But what is interesting about cheetahs is that they generally do have, you know, the tear lines that run down to the eyes, and that basically, you know, is like a pair of sunglasses, which is kind of cool. So when you think about tear lines going down a cheetah's eyes, that is acting like a pair of sunglasses. Just like how us humans, we would wear sunglasses on a summer's day. Cheetahs, they have it built in. They have really good, sun protection there. And it's not just them that has that as well. It's also meerkats. Meerkats, they have like dark rings around the eyes, and that helps to protect them from the harsh sun. And if you are enjoying any of the facts so far, do go and show some love, subscribe, all that sort of good stuff, because we love talking about nature. I know you guys would love to learn about nature in all of its glory, in all of its ways, and so on and so forth. This is the best way to learn, you know. So if you love nature, please subscribe. It goes a long way. It really does, you know. And then we will talk, sadly, on one topic. Where is it? I know it's in my... Yeah, so, you know, when we think about cheetahs, our class is vulnerable, you know, which is kind of sad. However, in recent years, scientists have, you know, argued that cheetahs should be considered endangered instead of pointing to sizable losses in cheetahs. You know, the population, there are fewer than 7,000 adult cheetahs remaining in the wild. And the reason for that is because people love to, kidnap the cubs, or kittens, not cubs, the kittens. Man, my mind's on fire. I'm so sorry, that's why I'm rushing. But as I say, with cheetahs, the threats they actually do suffer is with illegal wildlife trade, clash of humans, obviously, you know, being hunted for their skin and stuff. But the reason why, you know, the illegal wildlife trade is a big threat to their population is simply due to the fact that, you know, people will go out in the wild to basically grab the kittens off the cheetahs and then sell them online for house pets. And there's only said to be an estimated of a couple of thousand, you know, or more, you know, that have actually been, you know, in the legal trade, which is kind of sad. So yeah, cheetah cubs do get put into the actual cider stuff, which is sad, you know. But mainly it's out. And also the other threat to cheetahs is also lions, because lions, when they have a meal and a cheetah, you know, yeah, a cheetah can't outwhip a lion. So lions have been known to kill cheetahs quite easily, because obviously cheetahs, they're not built for strength, like I say, they're built for speed. But lions will bully them out of the way. But that's another reason why their numbers are going down. They're the few good reasons, but also the legal wildlife trade, where, you know, cheetahs are being, you know, kidnapped from in the wild, then they're being put into people's homes, and that's really kind of sad, you know, and that's when they're really young, which is just, it's sad. it is genuinely sad. So, that is how it goes in the cheetah's world. It's so depressing that cheetahs suffer so much. They are so beautiful, but yet they get treated so badly. You know. So yeah, it's mental what we learn. It really is. But like I say, guys, if you like nature, topics and stuff, and you like what you're hearing on nature, regardless if it's sad or beautiful, do go and, subscribe, to my channel. We talk about nature pretty much, quite a fair bit. I'm passionate about what I do. I love doing what I do. I think it's such a beautiful thing to be able to do, So if you love nature, like and subscribe and all that sort of good stuff. I'm going to have to go because my phone needs to be on charge. But honestly, guys, thank you all for tuning in and checking out me as a person. Like and subscribe and all that sort of good stuff. And thank you for watching, guys.